Hi, Tammy. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you again. It's been 30 minutes. I like it when I get to see you this often. Is Edward getting out today?
I believe he is. I think he got on a flight, but I don't have an update from him.
Gotcha.
Let's give it another minute while I try to go live on Facebook as well, because usually we have quite a bit of people that join live on Facebook. Let me see. And let's give it one more minute to allow some more people to join. All right, let's start. I'm looking at this screen, so I have to say it's time to turn it up. It's time for our July Power Up call. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you're having an amazing summer. I have a normal summer day here in the Netherlands, 20 degrees Celsius, a little bit of rain, a little bit of sunshine. So business as usual for me, but I do know that some areas in Europe, it is scorching hot, very high temperatures. So if there are people on the call from those areas, I hope you're doing well, that you stay cool and hydrated. And thank you for coming. So what do we have in store for you today? Let me share the agenda of today's meeting. We will start with elevating the ASEA user experience. And to do that, we have Tami Phillips on the call, our Senior Vice President of User Experience. So the right person to talk about this. In addition to that, we will show the Ascent 2023 video. I think that should be 2023. We don't have that video just yet available for 2024. But last week or last month, we talked about our Ascent Trip, an amazing trip. We had Rosalie Brewster on the call sharing her experiences, but now we have the recap video ready. And I do want to share this with everyone to see what we did there, and also to see what you can expect from us next year when we do another Ascent Trip. Then I want to remind everyone of our Marrakesh Voyage incentive, and to spend a bit of time to talk about our WhatsApp channel. But first and most importantly, Tammy, welcome to this call. I'm very happy that you're here. I think you're the right person to talk about this. I do want you to introduce yourself, except from the fact that I want to say that usually when we have Americans on the call, I say, thank you for joining us this early morning, but for you, not really an early morning, because for everyone on the call, Tammy is an early bird. She always wakes up really early, which is great for us because as Senior VP of User Experiences, she is in charge of everything that goes on in IT and marketing. So that covers pretty much everything that we do here at Corporate ASEA. And when there are issues, it's great to have Tammy already available earlier than most Americans. So thank you for that, Tammy. Just kidding aside, Really pleased to have you on this call. Maybe for the people that for the persons on the call that don't know you, maybe you can share a couple of words about yourself.
I would be happy to, and thank you for asking me to join today. So as Reinder said, I am Tami Phillips, the Senior VP of User Experience. I have been with ASEA since January of 2012. I started just after we launched Italy, and I came in to do some data cleanup, and I was on a 3-day contract. And I have been here ever since. So I'm going into my 12th year here, and I would not change it for the world. I spent my first 11 years strictly working in IT, kind of always pushing into other areas, because one of the things I found when I started was the best thing for me was to understand every part of the business. So I love digging into everything, and it just made my work a lot simpler. And then when this opportunity came up to create a new department to incorporate all of IT and marketing and really bring them together to enhance the overall experience for our customers and our associates, it was a no-brainer for me. It was something that I jumped at that opportunity because I knew I could make an impact for everyone here. And that's what I love to do. I love to have a positive impact on those around me, even when I don't know them, but I love also getting to know them. So, so this has been a lot of fun. It's been very challenging. It's been a lot of work, but some of the things that we're getting to do now are so exciting. And we're seeing as these tools start rolling out, the impact that they can make for everyone's business, whether they are kind of old school network marketers who do parties and do it in a more one-on-one way, all the way up to those who are sticking their hands and toes and everything into social media and trying to push the envelope there. So we're having a lot of fun creating these tools, getting feedback from our field in what works, what maybe isn't working the way that they expected or want, and then taking everything that we're doing and looking at it again and how can we make this work better for you guys. So it's a really exciting opportunity for me, and it's something that I hope as we start rolling out these tools in all of our different markets and regions that you'll be as excited as I am to see it. So
I think it definitely will. The things that you will be presenting in just a minute are really a step forward for us. I think it's great. And I want to reiterate what you just said. We want to make it as easy as possible for all the associates that we have in Europe and of course globally as well to share their experiences with ASEA, to find new people that want to share as well. And I think this is a huge step forward. So very much looking forward to hear from you and to see what this is. And very important that a lot of people joined this call also to share this information with your team, because this will make everyone's life a lot easier. So thank you so much.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen. I'm actually going to take you into the live VO. I do have a test account, so I am able to share. One thing that I do want to preface and say is this will be the US VO because my account is here in the US. So let's just make sure, is everybody able to see? Reinder, can you see my back office?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And there are a couple of things that are coming in the next week or two is the expectation, as long as it all passes through some testing. But we have the new shared cart as well as the new enrollment flow. And the new enrollment flow, I'm going to show you that first, just because I think it's really exciting how much simpler this has become. And I'm going to start with the customer flow. One of the things that we had gotten a lot of feedback on was the customer flow. And as you are becoming a customer, so you've shared this and they log in or they go to your replicated site, people don't know the difference between a retail customer and a preferred customer. And honestly, we don't necessarily have to make them pick first. So we've revamped this flow for the first order for customers to show them retail pricing, but if they add a subscription, it automatically changes the type of customer that they are. So instead of coming in as a retail customer, they would then come in as a preferred customer. They don't have to select anything up front. All they have to do is determine what product they want and whether or not they want it on a subscription. So if they get this link, so you send them your link to this flow, or they go to your replicated site, however they have been shared this link, they will go in and they can add a case of ASEA to today's order. And maybe they only want the 2-bottle case on subscription. So they go ahead and add that. And as you can see, again, this is US pricing, so it's dollars. Their pricing just changed. It went from $80 for a 2-bottle case down to the $70. We're doing some additional, we got some feedback on this already. So we're doing some additional enhancements to better highlight those pricing differences so that people know they're really going to save if they add the subscription. So I'm actually going to take this off of subscription because I want to show you what it's going to look like here. So you can see that pricing went back up to the regular retail pricing. So if you go in here and you say, I want to add this to subscription, instead of saying $80 over here, it's going to be crossed out and it's going to say the 70. So that'll be coming over the course of the next week or so. The team's got the designs. Another new enhancement that we have made, again, based on feedback, is the ability to have multiple images to make this more of an e-commerce friendly flow. Something people are more used to. So as you go in, you're going to start seeing where we add multiple images to each product. So there will be a lifestyle type image. We'll have the back label, or if it's part of the VIA line, the nutritional label will show. So this will give us a lot more opportunity to highlight all of the things that the products can be used for, which is a little bit different than what we have historically done, where we've shown you just the product image. So again, I'm going to put this back on subscription, and we're going to go ahead and it'll tell you that that was added to your subscription. We're going to look at this. It's going to be all updated to the new pricing. And then we are going to check out adding that and thinking about it. Let's do a continue. Well, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah, and here you can already see that the price was crossed out, the higher price.
Right. So here that is done. I don't know why it's not updated. I'm going to refresh the screen. Sometimes on Zoom, things get a little bit wonky and they don't like to share normally. There we go. So I'm going to go to the checkout page. And as you can see, we have really simplified this page. So you just put in an email address, and we're going to add that here. Name. And then it's going to validate some of this information as we go, so that if there is an issue, it will let you know right away that there's an issue with which particular piece. We're going to use the corporate address. That's in Utah. And it gives you all of the formats and some of that information here. I think, again, that's also going to be an upgrade so that people know right away if there's an issue with how they're doing it. It brings up your shipping methods. In the US, we have 2 methods. We have a heavy light, and we have multiple carriers if we have light product. Kind of like the different markets in Europe have multiple carriers that you can select from. So you'll be able to choose your carrier, and then you're going to continue to the checkout page. So now we are on the 3rd page of this flow, where all you would do is enter your promo codes if you have it. So if we are going to be going with the July promo, you would put in ASEA 10. you would hit apply and you'll see that it applied and that it discounted that pricing right here. Then you would enter some payment information and just confirm all of your address, set up a username and a password to log in, and check off that you've read the return policy. And when you check off that and hit checkout, it's going to finalize. That is the last step. So we have gone from a 7-page process with multiple additional steps to a 3-page process where you just enter your information, you go through, it updates, shows you all of your totals right here. And then on that 3rd page, you are done and you will get your confirmation page on the next page. So it's really exciting for us to see how this has impacted enrollments in the markets where we have launched it. So it's launched in the US, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and Mexico. And a couple of our Asian markets have launched as well. And so as we've gone through, we've had a lot of very positive feedback. We've also gotten some feedback saying this could be a little more intuitive, and we've made some changes based on that feedback. That is the one other thing about being user experience now. With that connection between marketing and IT, we're able to respond much more quickly to the feedback and make those enhancements. So everything that's rolling out, it's not set in stone. We want your feedback and we want to make improvements based on it. And we want it to happen quickly so that these things are made much more simple and intuitive for the field, for your downlines, and for your customers. So again, that is the totality of the customer flow. The associate flow is very similar. There's a couple of additional questions that have to be filled in, including the birth date, so that as people start to earn, we have that birth date that we can send to Smart Wallet or the commission payout processor. So that is the new flow. Now, the shared cart, which is connected to the new flow. You can only use this once the new flow has rolled out in your market, but as it does, you have the ability to create a pre-populated cart. And this, for me, is so exciting. I've been working on this project for almost 18 months, and we've gone through a lot of feedback with focus groups and others to make sure that we were really hitting the points that you needed us to hit. So I'm going to go ahead and create, to show you how simple this is, I'm going to create a new cart that can then be shared. So if your market is one that is available, you would just slide it right down, select your market, and then if you want to do this for an associate, a preferred customer, a retail customer, you can. If you have been working with someone and you know they only want to purchase product, but they do want it on subscription, go ahead and set this up as a preferred customer. There may be times where you don't know if they want to be on subscription. They can take it off. So I'm going to show you just how simple this is. So again, we're going to add a case of ASEA to today's order, and we're also going to put that on subscription. And it's somebody that you've been talking to who's very excited, as I know many of you are, for the clay mask to be in market. So we're going to add that to today's order as well. And so if you look over here, you'll see that today's order includes a case of Redox supplement and a clay mask. And then the subscription is the case of ASEA. So I'm going to go ahead and name this ARS and mask. And then I'm just going to put a PC so that I know when I go to use this again, that this one was set up for PCs. So I'll tell it to save the name, and then I'm going to save the cart. So that is now created. I can share this cart with anyone I want to. So if I've been talking to you on a plane, I've spent a lot of time on airplanes in the last few days, I can go ahead and copy this link and I can text it directly to you. If I send out a newsletter and I am highlighting these products, I can go ahead and send that out in the newsletter. Or if I am putting it out on social media, I can do that as well. It really works for you wherever you are at in this process and will help you grow in the way that you want to. So I'm going to drop this into the chat so that everybody can see the link. So this is my link. Please don't actually check out because that will put those orders in my tree, which is a test tree and won't do anything. But I want you to be able to see this link and click on it. So I'm going to click on it from over here, and it's going to open up this flow. And this again is the customer flow because I created this as a preferred customer. And if you look, you'll see that today's order is pre-populated with those 2 products that we again had talked about. And my subscription is already set up with the case of ASEA. All that I have to do as a person receiving this link, I just have to put in my name, address, and my payment information. So now let's say I look at this and I think, oh, I think I'd like to get that clay mask every month. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go into the clay mask and I'm going to add that to my subscription. There's no problem with making adjustments just like that. So now I have it here on my subscription as well. You can add any different products. You can take it off. If you would rather not have it on today's order, you're just going to get it in a few weeks, you can go ahead and remove it. And there's no issue with making those changes. This just allows a very solid starting place. And if you've already spoken with somebody and you know what they want, this really simplifies how that's going to work for them. So then all they do is put in their name, their address, and put in their payment information, and everything is taken care of. And again, as they go through, they can add the promo codes. So you can tell them, hey, as you're checking out, add ASEA 10. This is going to update and give them the 10% off. Or if there's another promo code that we're running at the time, you just let them know, hey, go ahead, use this cart. When you get to the promo code, put in ASEA 15 if we're running a 15%. However that's going to look, as far as promo codes at the time, they can just put it in, go ahead and check out, and everything is then complete. So you can take those different shared carts and create multiple. If you are working with different people and you know that as you are building, you love for people to get the ASEA and Renew as an associate, this is a way of creating these. It's very quick. You just text it over, say, hey, I think you're going to love this. And then they can go ahead and just fill out the form and they're done. And they're not having to worry about getting lost in the process. You're not having to walk them through step by step. It's very, very intuitive. It's very simple. And I see that there was a question about, can it be used for associates? Yes, it absolutely can. Here is one that I had created in the past for an associate. So I'll go ahead and copy that and drop that link here into the chat. And you can see that this will take them right directly into that associate enrollment flow. So it can be used for any kind of enrollment first order. So whether it's associate, whether it's preferred customer, or whether it's a retail customer, say that you are putting it out in an email blast or on a WhatsApp group, you can put it out there as retail customer based and just say, hey, check out this product. I think you're going to love it. Go ahead and get this coming. And it allows them to order as a retail customer and just get started on the product. So there's just so much good and easy things that are coming out of this. We've had a lot of feedback. Most people really, really like it. Once they've figured out kind of how to use it, where to use it. I've seen it used on social media. I got a newsletter from one of our associates the other day. They copied me in so that I could see how they were using it in their newsletter, where they were highlighting life mats. So it's really accessible for everyone. You don't have to be an influencer to use it. When we started development of this, which again was about 18 months ago, we weren't even thinking about influencers. This was really to enable people to do something very easy, use the new enrollment flow. So it was just very simple. And so now, can it be used by an influencer? Of course, it can be, but it was not created for nor targeted to. This is just for everybody to have an easy time to share the product and get new people enrolled so that they can experience all of the positive impact that comes from taking the ASEA product lines. There's another question. In the shared cart, I can order all of the products, but I cannot order those products just by shopping as an individual. I'm not sure that I understand what you mean just by shopping as an individual. Rinder, do you maybe know what that was?
Yeah, so I think what Eva means here is that in the option right now, they can order the clay mask and the 2-bottle option. We don't have that available in Europe just yet.
Okay.
So just as a reminder, Tammy is using the US as an example. So you will see products that are not yet available in Europe. Also, to answer that question, we have the 2-bottle option available in only a very few markets in Europe, and we do not have any plans to roll that out in other countries, but I'm happy to discuss that at some other point. Feel free to reach out to me.
Okay. All right, perfect. And sorry, I didn't want to misstep because I wasn't sure I understood the question. So thank you. Are there any other questions or comments about the new flow, which you should be able to see in your back office? I believe we have the links for it. If not, and it would be the US flow. If not, you can use the links that I put into this chat, and you can continue to kind of explore that flow. There is one thing that's very near and dear to my heart is getting feedback. So in the flow, as you are going through, on every page, there's this little feedback tab. And you can leave me a comment, put your email in, and shoot that over. My team goes through every piece of feedback to better understand what we are seeing. We've put new analytics in to see where people might be getting hung up, but we also want to hear directly from you with that feedback. So we have put this on that page as well as the share cart page. We do want to hear from you. You do have the share cart in your back office now. So you just go in, and again, you go down to this shared cart. You won't have it for your region yet, but you can explore what it looks like in the markets where it's available. So say you want to just kind of play with it, you can set up a US shared cart or an Australia one and just take a look at it and kind of get a feel for it. And then if you have any feedback, then you can send that over and we can take a look at it as we're finalizing the development to be launched in your market. And again, I am expecting that in about 1 to 2 weeks. We're just trying to finalize everything with some translations and some very specific components that are necessary for the European region.
Maybe a quick question from my side, Tammy. So this shareable shopping cart is market specific. What if you create a link and you send it to someone and you programmed it, let's say for Germany, but you send it to someone from Austria?
So what it will do is it will empty the cart. And while for most markets globally, that's not, a big deal because they're typically not going to be crossing borders. I've been talking to the development team. How can we make this work? If the product is available in the market, how do we make that change to allow it to do that? So my hope is that as an upcoming enhancement, we'll be able to do that as long as the product is available, that it will continue to hold the product and just update. So if it's for a case of ASEA and 2 tubes of Renew, which are available in all markets in Europe, that it would hold that. So that's just going to take some additional development. Now that we are prepared to launch this for Europe, we'll start looking into how do we make that improvement and enhancement for the long term of it.
Exactly. And for the time being, when you are operating in multiple markets and you create a cart like this, just add let's say Germany or the Netherlands to the name of your cart, and you know exactly what to share. Maybe then, I'm not very technical. Can you maybe share a bit of information on how this works in the background? How is this link created? How do we make sure that it's linked to your account and not someone else?
Right. So all of that is contained within this link here. So that information, so there's a sharing ID. And so if I copy that and then I go ahead and paste it, and as you are creating your own, it holds all of the information, which is your ID is contained within that. So you'll see here that the sponsor name is Tami Phillips, ASEA Senior VP of UX. So it holds that. So for any of you, it will show your name or your business name, however you're registered with ASEA. So that way you can be confident that they're always going to your enrollment flow. So you're going to get credit for that enrollment. So again, all of that is contained within this link here. These links do not change. That is the one thing that as I was exploring this, there are a few other companies that have something like this. Those links expire every 7 days. And for me, that was no good. If I write a blog article, I do not want to have to go update that link every 7 days. I want to create a link that is solid and stays as long as possible. As long as the product information does not change, it will remain good. Even if the product is no longer available and they click on the link, it's going to populate all of the other products. It just won't populate the one that perhaps has gone away. So if we do a limited time offer or something like that in the market, and the product's gone away, rather than expire the link so it doesn't work, we have it work for everything else on it. So I think that is really, really helpful as you're putting it out. So if somebody comes in, say you send it to someone that you met while traveling and they don't do anything with it for 10 days, the link's not going to be expired. They're still going to be able to click on that link and have it work 10 days later, which to me was very, very important. So it wasn't something that I had really thought about up front, but as I was exploring how others were maybe doing this, it became very clear to me, we can't have this link expire. So
no, that makes so much sense because in many cases you will be using the same cart depending on your strategy. But yeah, that makes so much sense. There's a question from Dr. Ruth Allen from the UK. She says, I have a client in the US. Can I already use it?
yes. If you have somebody who is in the US or another market where we've already launched, you absolutely can create this and send that link over for them to do their enrollment or their first order.
And then I think the most important question of all, Tammy, when are we going to launch?
So it's expected within the next 1 to 2 weeks. I am really hoping that it is sooner rather than later, but there's a few things that we are finishing up with in testing. And again, making sure that we have it in the best possible state with the translations and a couple of, again, very specific content pieces for Europe and that are a little bit different than that of other markets. So we are working on it to get it out as soon as possible. I do not expect it to be any longer than 2 weeks out.
That's wonderful news. There's one other question. Will we work on direct sharing to social media as well? Now it means copy the link and paste it?
Yes. Right now we have made it where you have to copy the link just because we know that sometimes we have to make it very simple early on and then add that additional functionality as we see how it's being used. But yes, our intention is to add the social links that will take you to your social media pages so that you can put it on Instagram, Facebook, in Messenger, in WhatsApp. There's a couple of others that we're looking at as well. But yes, that is coming as an enhancement. It's already on the roadmap for us to do. and add it into text message for those of you who are working on your phone or a tablet, or if you are like me and you're working on a Mac and you have an iPhone, they connect, so I can go ahead and pull up my text messages right here on the Mac and drop it in and send it over. But we are looking at all of those options to be added, hopefully a little bit later this year, to continue giving an improved experience for our associates.
That's great. No, but I think it's the most important thing is to launch, and then we can always improve on what we have. But this is so great. Removing steps from the enrollment process. Also, this option that you do not have to go through the replicated website, that you already have the products that they want or that you discussed ready to go. All they have to do is fill out their details and pay. This is so great, Tammy. Thank you so much, not just you, but your entire team. I know that you have been working on this for a very long time. It looks great. The functionalities is good. I'm also really happy to hear from you that the feedback that you received is mostly positive. And when it was not positive, it was constructive to see where we can improve. So really pleased with this. And yeah, 2 weeks. So that's really soon. Happy for that. Also for everyone to know, what we are aiming at is to launch every single European market at the same time. So if you say I'm in Norway, usually takes a bit longer here. For this, it will not. We will launch all the markets in one go. We will provide more training. We will cover this a lot more. And yeah, please share this with your team. Talk about what kind of cards you can create. Define a strategy, how to use this. I think, Tammy, I don't know if you mentioned it now, but yeah, I think you mentioned it when sharing through social media. You can also include this link in images. So when people click on the image, it's redirecting to this page right away. So a lot of good things. And I think that everyone will profit from this. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And really, we do want your feedback. So as you're getting in here and you're looking at it and you're playing with it, whether it's the US flow or whether it is after it has launched in your market, please don't hesitate to send us feedback. We love to hear from you. We love to know where we've hit, and we love to know where we maybe didn't hit the right mark and how we can do better for you. So please let us know how we can best support you.
Thank you so much. Also in our communication, we will share this as well. Feedback is always appreciated. We want to make things better, and the best way of doing that is, of course, to get feedback. So again, please do this. Tammy, thank you so much. I know that you're very busy. Of course, you can stay around, but I would totally understand if you go on with your day. We really appreciate you presenting here today, spending some time with us. And I really appreciate everything that you're doing. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone who joined. I look forward to hearing from you again and hopefully seeing you at convention. So we'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Tammy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So yeah, everyone on the call, this is really a step forward. So really looking forward to it. If you have any questions, of course, you can use the feedback button, but also please feel free to reach out to us so we can answer the questions for you, or connect with our user experience team to find out and answer all your questions. I do have a couple of more things that I want to share, so I'm sharing my screen again. There we go, PowerPoint presentation. I mentioned it. I wanted to show you the video for everyone that is on the call and that was at Dubrovnik at our Ascent Trip in Croatia. This will be a sweet reminder, and for everyone else, I just want to see what we're trying to do at these incentive trips. Not just a trip to reward the people that done an amazing job, but really create an experience. So please, let's go to the recap video.
Feeling about emotions, we meet the people from the team who you know only from the computer. This is really exciting. like annually, and this is the most important. How lucky I am that I found this company, and I can be here with those people, which somewhere is not possible to reach a founder of the company. It was amazing. Program. I liked the city walk and being on the historic boat, but even today it was so nice. The speech challenge, I loved it so much, jumping in the water, the feeling of freedom and happiness. This was one of the best days of my life. Really, I never expected this. I've had the most wonderful, incredible time. I'm extremely grateful to the company, and I've made friendships and memories that will last a lifetime. I would say this trip has been life-changing, full of happiness. It's better than a dream. I'm happy. Feel like you are part of our family and part of our heart.
Yeah, really takes me back. I want to let everyone know that we will be sharing this video on our social media pages, of course, as well, so that you can share it as well with people to show what you experienced or also what ASEA is all about. Another incentive that we have running is the Marrakesh Voyage. This is the last week where you can earn points towards this incentive. So I'm also really pleased that next week, probably on Wednesday, we can announce the winners, the 10 winners that we will have for this smaller incentive, but still very rewarding, that the people can stay at this beautiful hotel in Marrakesh and experience everything that you can do there. And the other incentive that we have running is the emerging leader training. I just wanted to put this here as a reminder. So as you can see, we started this qualification period in June, and it will run until the end of December. So 6 months. It is a very long qualification period. But what I want to emphasize, when we do these incentives with longer qualification period, it is very important to make a plan from the very beginning, not just for you, but also for your team. Who's interested in joining this training, or who's interested in joining the Ascent Trip or Marrakesh? What do you need to do for it? Where is the focus of this incentive when you look at the qualification criteria? Is it personal enrollment volume? Is it rank advancement in your team? Whatever it is, you can start making plans from it for yourself and for your team from the very beginning. And we really notice the teams that are working on these incentives from the very beginning, that they have a lot more success towards the end. A great example is the Ascent Trip, which is focused on personal enrollment volume and growth in your personal group 3 levels down. So that means working together with your team members in the first 3 levels of your organization. The more people you bring in at the beginning, the more you can profit from it along the way, with them having subscription orders, but also them signing up new people, which is then also included in your personal group volume. So really use these incentives as a tool to build your business. This is how they are intended. Of course, it's incentivizing growth in the organization, which will automatically help you as well. So with the emerging leader training, we focus on 4 different qualification criteria, but you only have to fulfill 2. So either be an executive momentum pool earner, be paid at rank 50% of the time, which in this case is 13 weeks, or successfully complete 2 fast forward challenges and have a minimum of 1,500 personal enrollment volume generated. By setting these criteria like this, we have a really nice mix of experienced leaders that are still very actively trying to get new people to join their team, but also new joiners that have a great start and are building their team quickly. So really happy about this. This is going to be a great training. It will be the day before our European conference in Budapest. So you can combine these 2 things and you only have to travel once. So really ask your team who wants to be at this training and make a plan together. And then last but not least, I wanted to mention the ASEA Europe WhatsApp business account that we have. It is a very good tool or a very good way to stay in touch with ASEA, that you know what's going on. You see a couple of examples here of the messages that we're sending out when we launch a new incentive, when we have a product promotion starting, like the Gift 10, Get 10% that we have running right now, or when we have the power up call. For instance, today, and I was looking at my WhatsApp, I got a message today. Hey, today is the power up call with Tammy. Some information about the call, and also add to your calendar so you can set a reminder automatically on different platforms. So a very useful tool. So you can join this WhatsApp group or WhatsApp message. It's not a group. You will receive messages from us by scanning the QR code, say hi, and click on I want to subscribe, and then you're in. Also, if you no longer want to be part of it, you can unsubscribe at any point of time. But yeah, great way to stay in touch with ASEA. And the last reminder, Tammy mentioned it already. She entered the code when she was doing the enrollment orders, when testing the new enrollment flow. And I mentioned it just a second ago, but this promotion, give 10%, get 10%, is still running until July 31st. When your new joiner enters this code, they will get a 10% off right away, and you will get 10% off on your next subscription. So it's good for the new joiners, but also good for you. Please use this code when someone signs up. Remind your team that we have this promotion code available, because we see that not everyone is using it. And this is, of course, a loss because we want you to profit from this promotion. So that was it. A lot to take in, a lot to come very soon with the new enrollment flow and the shareable shopping cart, something to look forward to train your team on and to start using. This will make things a lot easier. Simplicity is the key, and I think this is really going in that direction. So I hope you are happy with that. Of course, we will send you communications when we launch it, and yeah, have fun with it as well. Try to create some cards. You can already play with it in the US because it is already available in the virtual office. So you can have a look how it looks like, even though Tammy just showed it. But already start thinking about what kind of cards you want to create. So thanks everyone for joining. I will have a quick look at the questions. I see that there's someone, how do I join the WhatsApp? I think I just explained it. I can go back quickly in the presentation if you haven't done it. So you can scan the QR code. So I will give everyone 5 seconds to do so. And in that 5 seconds, I will thank everyone for joining, and I hope that you will join next month. It's always the third Wednesday of the month at 5 p.m. For August. That means, and I'm going to the last slide, August 16. Hope to see you there. Thank you so much and have a good rest of the week.